all of crypto is probably a Ponzi scheme.
Oh my gosh.
I really don't want to call names here, but he pumps coins all the time.
If you want to, dude, do it.
Okay, I'm gonna just say one.
Okay, real quick before you start this interview, and we're going to talk about everything from Bitconnect to the FBI to the SEC, suing Trevon to Hex. We're going to talk about all of that, and I'm going to challenge Trevon on a lot of it. Let me just say up front so there's no confusion, okay? This interview, I purposely went in pretty light-handed. I didn't want to come in shouting, partly because I don't know enough about crypto to feel like I really have the platform to do that, but also partly because I wanted to hear Trevon's own case for himself. His whole idea of coming on was, you know, to have me hear him out on his explanation, so I decided to give him that. But I wanted, you know, to make it clear less that my lack of just yelling scammer on Zoom makes it seem like I'm implicitly endorsing him. I'm not. I would not trust Trevon James with a single Satoshi of my money, okay? It's partly because from this interview, I'm pretty convinced that he doesn't know how to spot a scam or a Ponzi scheme. And he just sees things that make money as not a scam. And then as soon as it loses money, it is a scam. But that's not how anything works. So I don't trust it that way. And also, I don't mean to put it just on Trevon, though. What I've learned after interviewing Asker Folman, Trevon James, and now I also interviewed BitBoy Crypto after this interview, I've learned that I don't think you can really trust anybody in the space. Look, it's unregulated. So let me make the Coffeezilla position on all these guys clear, because we're going to do that interview with BitBoy Crypto later. You can look out for it another Sunday. Do not, I repeat, do not follow the advice of these crypto YouTubers. From talking to them, they're all talking about how other people have conflicts of interest and other people are running scams. But the reality is if everyone in the space is saying that, then it kind of tells you something about the space. Look, this market's unregulated, and at the end of the day, you got to watch out for numero uno. These guys aren't going to save you when you lose your money, and you'll find that in this interview. So, yeah, I wanted to have a casual, cordial conversation with Trevon, but I wanted to make it clear my position on crypto YouTube. This industry is so full of scams. Look, obviously, there's also money to be made. I'm acknowledging that. But there's so many scams in this industry. It is unlike anything I've ever seen before. But with that said, I hope you enjoy. Should be an interesting interview. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday Special, where I talk to whoever I want to, okay? Get over it. Get over yourselves. We got to do it how we're going to do it, okay? But today we're talking to, I apologize, Trevon or...
You call me Trevon. My parents call me Trevon. People in the streets call me Trevon.
James, I basically published a video about the Bitcoin community, sort of at the height of the recent Bitcoin bull run, and the next day I think everything like fell apart. So I don't know.
We're going back up now. 37K.
But anyway, you reached out and you said, "Hey, I was inspired by this guy telling his story about, you know, how he got into crypto. It's this alluring space. He kind of did some things he regretted later. But you said you wanted to tell your story.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to give some background as to who you are real quick for my audience who isn't from crypto? Go back to maybe you should tell me your intentions of coming on, and then we'll talk.
So I watched what's his name?
Asker Folman.
Okay, I watched his interview, and I was inspired. Just because I haven't had a chance to vent, and I agree with a lot of things that he said, and there's a lot of YouTubers who do exactly what he does and still do it. And, you know, I want to tell my Bitconnect story. You know, I've never told the story. I have never went on anyone's show and told the entire story. And I figured what better channel to do it than the guy who exposed the scammers.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. Hey, so for you guys who don't know, and I only found this after, because I don't follow the space too closely. I'm not a big crypto guy. Only recently did I really even get exposed to much. So you guys are probably going to notice I'm not a genius when it comes to crypto. You're going to have to accept that. But I did some digging into you, obviously, prior to this interview. So Trevon was one of the biggest the biggest maybe promoter of Bitconnect.
I was the biggest. Don't try to
not
down
Carlos Matos. I thought it was Matos.
No, Carlos was very
so
low.
You screwed over a lot of people. A lot of people left hanging the bag. A lot of people left with the bag. A lot of people losing a ton of money. I'm just going to be real with you.
I screwed over?
Well, we're going to talk about that. See, that's what we can talk about.
Yeah, we're definitely have to get into
that's what we should talk about, because that's why you're coming on. So to talk about it. So, but that gives people context. Even the government got involved. I think there's some lawsuits associated to this with I don't want to be wrong here, the SEC or somebody.
Yes.
Gotten SEC. A lot of calls from very big people.
Big boys.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then you said you've been trying to clean up your brand going forward. So in the subsequent section, we'll talk about that. But you guys can make what you want out of it. But I want to bring people on who, we can have on. Trevon, you told me before this, I can be as hard as I want. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do it all.
All right.
Let's get into it. So tell me what happened with Bitconnect, because you probably have the most infamous meme of Bitconnect, or one of them.
Technically, I have one of the best memes.
Which is...
Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now, you have your... Technically, you kind of lost your money.
Let's go back. I want to give people some backstory on me. Okay. A lot of people, there's a misconception about me that, I got into crypto through Bitconnect, and that is very, very, very false.
Okay.
I got into crypto. Before I got into crypto, I was looking at I was charting, trading, doing all that stuff at least 2 to 3 years before I even discovered Bitcoin. Around 2015, I discovered Bitcoin. Bitcoin was around $369. I took about $50 and started gambling with Bitcoin sites, and I turned that $50 into like $100. And I was like, wow, if I could do this every day, man, I'm going to be rich. And then the next day I tried to double that 100 and I lost it all. So now I had to start doing a little bit more digging, and I got really, I was just really amazed by the technology of Bitcoin. So after that, fast forward a little while, started watching a couple of YouTubers, got inspired because I had YouTube channels before, and I used to do comedy channels. I used to do dancing. I used to do all types of YouTube channels. So I said, I can start a channel about crypto. There aren't many crypto YouTubers. It's a small niche, maybe I can get some traction in there.
Sure.
So I started making YouTube content, just basically talking about the price. If you go back to my channel, you can see some of the old videos where I was talking about Bitcoin going to 5,000. It went way past 5,000, went to 20,000. So I was just documenting the price. Then I started finding these little platforms or mining, like Bitcoin cloud mining with Genesis mining. So I started doing Genesis mining. I got really, that's where I made a killing. Not so much referrals later on, but in the beginning, just from being in it so early, made a killing on Genesis mining.
Did Genesis turn out to be a scam? It shut down, right?
Genesis mining is still going. Genesis mining isn't a scam. They actually have, I was about to say, they actually flew me out to Iceland. I think that was 2016. They flew me out to Iceland. I saw their mining rigs. They have a huge facility. They are really mining crypto they actually, I don't think they blindfolded me. They were going to blindfold me, but they didn't blindfold me. Out in the middle of nowhere in Iceland. They're really out there mining. It's still going. So I made a killing with Genesis mining. So that's a misconception. People think that I made everything from Bitconnect. And even, talking to the SEC and stuff, I had to tell them, like, I was doing crypto way before Bitconnect. Bitconnect was later down the road. So
how much do you think you made from Genesis? Ballpark me.
I mean, tens of Bitcoin, which was later stolen, which I got hacked. We'll get there.
Oh, buddy, this is gonna be a good story. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you want to interrupt and ask some questions in between, because I'll get through the whole thing in like 5 seconds.
No. What? Keep going, because I don't know that much about Genesis. I can't comment too much on it.
Okay, so Genesis, basically they mine the Bitcoin, and you can basically buy these mining contracts from them, and you basically rent their miners. They're
I understand the concept, that, like the cloud thing. I
Yeah.
just don't know too much about how profitable that is, how not.
Oh yeah, it's not profitable. It
Yeah,
is. I mean, it was profitable back then, but now they've kind of fallen a little bit because it's not, people aren't going for it. It's not profitable anymore. Cloud mining is not profitable. So if anybody out there, if anybody ever tells you to get in cloud mining, don't do it. You're better off just buying the Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying?
So after that, what happened?
After Genesis mining, that's when I started to I found Bitconnect.
Okay.
A fellow YouTuber, I'll call him a friend, Craig Grant. I don't know if you heard about him. He was doing YouTube videos. He actually discovered Bitconnect and started doing videos about Bitconnect first, and then that inspired me to get into it. And then I started, and that's where it started. He found it. It was a really small crypto at the time, and started doing videos and just kept making videos. That's basically how it started.
Sure. And so you start picking it up on it. You start making videos. Now, for those of you who don't know, Bitconnect is called by many to be a Ponzi scheme. Would you agree with that?
Here's the thing. This is another common misconception with Bitconnect. We still don't know if it was legit or not. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but one thing you have to consider is Bitconnect was working. People were making crypto every single day and loving it. And then Texas stepped in. I think it was Texas first, and said, hey, cease and desist. And then that started a snowball effect of other states saying cease and desist. So they ultimately gave all the coins back. And that's where the scam kind of comes in, where it's like, hey, we want to give us our Bitcoin back. But they gave everybody their Bitconnect coins back, because you remember you were locking up the Bitconnect coins to earn, to earn interest on them. So people wanted their Bitcoin back. They gave them their Bitconnect coins back.
Wait. Don't you mean they're locking up their Bitcoin to get Bitconnect coins?
It's been so long, I can't even really remember how.
But Bitconnect, for everyone who doesn't know, was promising, I think, 1% steady returns, right, per day.
I know I'm going to sound like I'm defending Bitconnect a lot, but there are a lot of misconceptions. There were days where we didn't get any interest.
Sure. But they were promising crazy returns.
They were promising interest. Yes.
Right. And so the question is, where were they getting that money from? And that's what makes a Ponzi scheme, is it requires people to keep putting money in order to pay out the other people. And so, of course, a Ponzi scheme I would call it
a Ponzi scheme, but my problem is that it was going good. Like I would even argue the fact that a lot of crypto people are going to hate me for saying this, but all of crypto is probably a Ponzi scheme.
Oh my gosh.
Now when I say, hold on a second. I know it sounds bad, but we have to break down what a Ponzi is. We get what we know what a Ponzi is, but Ponzi is a person. It's Charles Ponzi. It's named after a person. So
correct.
A Ponzi is actually just a way of moving money around. So it's not something that it's not an evil thing unless you use it as an evil.
Wait. But it's a type of fraud because it has to collapse. So it's a type of business model that has to collapse. The reason it's named after Charles Ponzi is because he was selling these like postage stamps, and he said he was doing some arbitrage with postage stamps. He wasn't. So that's a big classic thing of Ponzi's. They say they're making money.
Doing what he said he was
doing.
Right.
But that's true of that's most Ponzi schemes. They have an explanation, but what they say they're going to give you is these super inflated returns that are impossible. Right. And the way they pay you those returns, and the reason it looks like it's working at first, is because they're just paying you with new investors, and everyone's getting involved because, of course, everyone's making tons of money at first. But then when the bottom falls out, everybody gets screwed except for basically the initial investors and the guy who ran the Ponzi scheme. So most people get hurt, and then a small number of people profit a lot, and then there's the founder who makes a ton of money. So with that being said, and
let me clarify, because I don't want the crypto. I want to finish what I was saying about crypto being a Ponzi. I'm going to just use Bitcoin as the example. Okay. Bitcoin needs dollars going into it for the price to go up. That's just the simplest way I'm going to put it. Bitcoin needs money going into it for the value of it to go up. but it doesn't produce a interest or a return. But a lot of these projects in crypto are Ponzi schemes. I mean, it's just money coming in, and then when people stop buying it, the price goes down. And that's how you get these small cryptocurrencies that pump up really high, and then they fizzle out, and then they just can't pump up again because no more money will come into them. That's what I mean by that. So I'm sure most OG crypto heads will agree with me on that. It's not saying that it's a bad thing as far as the Bitcoin part goes, but for the smaller projects.
Well, hang on, because currencies are not Ponzi schemes because they don't promise returns. The way something's a Ponzi scheme, it can't be a Ponzi scheme unless they say, hey, you're going to get this much. They're promising these wild returns, and then they're funding those returns. They're funding payouts.
So maybe Ponzi is a bad word for it, but basically, if money stops coming into Bitcoin, it will stop going up in price.
Right, and that's true. And that's true of all currencies. Is that if you lose faith in the currency,
isn't everything a Ponzi scheme then?
No. Wait.
McDonald's a Ponzi scheme? McDonald's has to make. You got to keep money coming.
No. Bitconnect is a Ponzi scheme because they were promising people insane returns. Bitcoin inherently, now there are people who are pumping like crypto, like as if it's a Ponzi by saying, oh, you're going to get these insane returns, whatever. But these things are not inherently Ponzi schemes because you don't have that business model set in the framework. Right. Bitconnect had that in the framework. They said, give us Bitcoin and we'll give you back this thing at this crazy rate of return, right? So then when it started falling apart, they just left everyone else holding worthless crypto that no one wanted because right? Because Texas said to cease and desist.
But it was because of the government. It was the government's fault.
But wait. But if Texas hadn't intervened, more people would have gotten hurt. Do you see what I'm saying? Because Ponzi's have to fall apart. Because in order for them to pay people, you need more and more people at the bottom. But eventually you run out of people to get into your scheme because you have too many. Eventually, think about it. Yeah,
you're right about I never looked at it that way. Yeah, more people probably would have got hurt. I guess they stopped people from getting hurt. I guess they had to hurt, a little bit.
They shut it early. So then the people who probably would have maybe gone up, but then there would have been more people at the bottom.
It's like being on a ship and they're like, man, everybody's got to die at this, but it's going to save, millions of lives.
Right. But that being said, it was a scam, though. Or do you agree with that? I want to make sure that you get.
I'm going to go ahead and say they probably didn't have a trading bot. I'm going to go ahead and say that. They probably didn't have a trading bot.
Oh, right. They had, right. Okay. So then go ahead.
So where was I in the story?
So you were saying.
Oh, yeah. So I found Bitconnect. Yeah.
Right.
That's where I was. So I'm going to keep going from there?
Yeah. So you found Bitconnect. You started hyping it up, right?
Hyping it up. I don't think I wouldn't say hyping it up. My thing as a YouTuber, and well, as of now, I don't hype up things, but maybe back then I might have been hyping it up. I was doing it and telling people how great it was going. So I guess that's hyping it up, showing my experiences with it. I started with about $100, man. I put $100 in it, and then I made like this, and another thing, people call me a scammer, and it's like, no, man, because I wasn't out to hurt people. Everyone that was involved in this was doing great. So it wasn't that I wasn't intentionally harming anyone. So I set up these Facebook groups and was showing people like how to market it and stuff like that. Facebook groups didn't really get that big. I wasn't really big on it, but that's how I kind of started it. Click my link. I'll add you to this Facebook group, and that was kind of the incentive to join under me. And once I kind of got that snowball rolling, it was the first time I ever was successful at a MLM or referral type program, and it was incredible to watch it grow and grow and grow and grow. So yeah, I started with $100. Started doing videos, and one morning I remember waking up and I had a couple $1,000. And I was, keep in mind, I wasn't really, even after Genesis. Now with Genesis, you got to remember Bitcoin was cheap back then. So when I say tens of Bitcoin, it might sound like a lot now, but back then, Bitcoin was maybe like $1,000. So I mean, like $10,000, it's not that much back then. So to wake up one morning and have made almost as much as I made the entire time in Genesis, was like, whoa, okay, this is about to get crazy. And I just kept showing my results. Like I wasn't really at that point, I wasn't really telling people to get into it. It was just more of, whoa, I woke up this morning, I'm live streaming. This is how much I have in my Bitconnect wallet. This is how much I made today. And then I'll do it again the next morning. I just kept doing that. And I guess the whole transparency of me showing how much I'm making, that's what really hyped it up. When I got to like
well, I mean, I think it was a little bit more than you just showing. I mean, you were telling people you got to get into Bitconnect, and you used your profits as proof of why they should get in. But you were telling everybody to get in with you, right?
But yeah, of course, I wanted people to make money. Like it's not like I was expecting anything to go wrong. See, people, that's the thing. You got to think about in the moment. In the moment, this is great. It's working. I mean, what you want me to say? It's bad. Now, one thing I wish I would have done, now people ask me if you could go back, would you do it again? Would you not get in Bitconnect? I would do everything the exact same way, but what I would do this time around is I would tell people to be a lot more careful. Knowing what I know now, I would tell people, because I had really never gotten into anything that was really bad before. So I wasn't expecting anything to go wrong. I got into crypto at the bottom in 2015 when Bitcoin was $300. Everything's going up. Everything that I get everything I touch turns to gold. So why would this be any different? So the one thing I wish I would have done is I would have told people to be more careful and do your own research. And that's what I definitely say now. I definitely tell people I'm way more cautious when I'm talking about crypto these days. Like, because I've seen a bear market. I've seen so many scams. It's most likely a scam. If it's crypto, it's most likely going to go down in value. But now everything's moving though. So
okay. Hold on. I just want to clarify. A scam is not when something goes down and then it's great if it goes up, because then things could be not a scam and then suddenly turn into a scam. The business model itself can just be bad. It's a bad business model that will fail.
A scam to me is something that's intentionally out to rip people off. That's what a scam is to me. I said scam. Now, a scam is different from a failed project. So, but there are still a lot of scams in crypto. There are a lot of projects that are intentionally out to, hey, this is something, but we're really not doing anything.
But I think what you're saying is you were new to crypto, you were hyping it up, you were marketing it, but you're saying basically you didn't know it was a scam.
No, I didn't know it was a scam. I knew there were risks, in the Bitconnect token going down, but I didn't think that, there was a risk. And then, I mean, all I saw the entire time I was in Bitconnect is it going up. It went up the entire time until the very end.
Now, do you feel any, because it's interesting, because you're saying, okay, I didn't know it was a scam. It turned out to be a scam. Basically, how much fault do I hold? And actually, I'm actually curious, how much fault do you think you hold for all the people who lost, a life savings with
I'm sure I'm at
or
fault
tens of thousands?
I'm at fault to a certain extent, because even myself, and I'm going to get to some of these YouTubers, even myself, I go into things because someone else went into it. When a YouTuber like this is what inspired me to come on here, because a lot of what that YouTubers said is true. A lot of these guys are pumping coins and wrecking people and saying, oh, this is for entertainment. This is finance. This is not financial advice. They're just saying that to cover their ass, but really, they're like, come on.
Right? They know what they're doing. They know they're hyping it up.
Yeah, they know they're hyping it up. They're really trying to get people to pump the coin, but they're covering their asses. If I can curse, they're covering their asses by, saying this isn't financial advice. So I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah.
No, I think that's really interesting. I mean, do you have an experience? You don't have to name names here, where a crypto YouTuber purposely pumped a coin. I know you're being like, yeah.
This is why I wanted to go. This is why I was so inspired. And then all of them
had a huge stock and then sold it off, like right when they pump it.
Man, I really don't want to call names here, but
if you want to, dude, do it.
I don't really want to, because I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but a lot of these guys are starting to, okay, I'm going to just say one. And this is because I had experience. BitBoy Crypto. He pumps coins all the time. All of these coins. Now, some of them do well. I'll give him that. Some of them do well. But the one that I said, you know what? I don't watch BitBoy Crypto, but I'm going to subscribe to him today, and I'm going to go buy the coin that he talks about today. I went and bought this coin called ETH. Now, I haven't checked on it in a while, so it might be up. But I bought that thing. It pumped, right after his video published. And ever since, it went down. And I said, man, this is not cool. You know what I'm saying? It was the first time that I actually went to a YouTuber and was like, I'm gonna just take this as I'm gonna do what most people are gonna do, which is buy this shit. Because I don't chase coins and chase pumps and stuff like that. I'm way past that. If you watch my channel, you'll hear me say, hey, Bitcoin, Ethereum. If you're most likely, if you're in anything, look at the chart versus Bitcoin, look at it versus Ethereum, and it's most likely been going down versus both of those the entire time. So you're better off just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this coin did exactly that. So all of these YouTubers, all of these crypto influencers are influencing people to get wrecked. If you get your followers wrecked, they're gonna stop following you. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what's interesting about the BitBoy Crypto thing?
oh, you seen him before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I hadn't seen him before a few days ago. I'm interviewing him tomorrow.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, he reached out to me after that interview. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Hey man, want to come on?" What should I know about that guy?
I don't really know about him. I just know that he gets into projects. Okay, so this is what happens. They have these Telegram channels. They have these Discord groups. There are these things called pre-sales in crypto. The pre-sale will have a funding round. They have a seed round, a private round, all these early rounds, and they'll get some people to invest. And then they'll say, all right, we're going to start marketing after they release the coins. The price goes up a little bit. And they say, all right, we're going to start marketing. We're going to hire some YouTubers. They go out and they reach out to YouTubers, BitBoy Crypto, Elio Trades, all these popular shitcoin YouTubers. They reach out to them and then they start chattering. All right, guys, BitBoy's going to do a video this day. He's going to do a video on this day right here. Oh, the video's going to be uploaded. And all that time, the price is running up. And then he publishes the video and the price just shoots up. And then all those people that weren't in the pre-sale, that they buy into it. And then all the people that were in the pre-sale, they dump the price on all of those YouTube fans. They sell to them. They sell the coin to them. And now all those YouTube people that watch this video are holding bags of these coins that might pump one day, but you're holding a bag. That's opportunity cost. You could be in something. You could be holding ETH while it's going up. You could be in Bitcoin while it's going up. So they're wrecking people now. And they're getting paid to wreck people. Now that's the only thing.
That's what I don't understand. As I was so I've just been researching more into crypto because the community's kind of been talking about crypto. Crypto's been on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I tell people I've encountered, I basically look at scams all day long. It's like basically what I do now.
Yeah. I love your channel, bro.
So check this out. So I've seen a lot of communities and there's like different percentages of how much it's a scam. I've never seen a community with so many scams. Yeah, why is crypto so uniquely poised for scams?
It's easy, especially with especially with DeFi right now on Ethereum. I've never done this. I can go make a ERC20 token, a Ethereum token, pair it with a little bit of ETH, 50-50, put it on Uniswap, give it a pretty logo, and go reach out to all my buddies and say, hey, this is the next big thing. And have no plan, have a pretty website, nice graphics,
nice
and
little white paper that sounds good.
White paper, nice graphics, nice futuristic graphics. Start getting some people to pump the coin. The price starts going up. And as the price starts going up, the reason the price goes up as far as Uniswap, that ETH that people are putting into Uniswap makes the price go up. But there's more ETH going into Uniswap, as well as less coins in Uniswap, right? Because you paired it with 50-50. What happens then is a thing called a rug, where they just take all that ETH, the person that provided the liquidity, because they're providing liquidity, they have that. They have that ETH now.
Right.
They can just take all that ETH out and just be gone. So that's why it's so many scams, because it's so easy to launch one. So you really got to do your own research and make sure you're in something legit. Anonymous teams, just go ahead and say no. That's a no. If it's an anonymous team, just don't even mess with it. If they don't want to show their faces, maybe I get why. The regulation is kind of up in the air as far as regulation goes. So maybe they want to be anonymous. But for me, if it's anonymous or if it's not by some a circle of people that I'm kind of familiar with in crypto, I'm just not going to even mess with it.
Okay, so we talked about how there's all these scams being run. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done in crypto? Have you taken some deals under the table?
Oh, as far as sponsorships?
Yeah.
Very, very rarely. The most I did it was in the bear run with dApps. A lot of stuff I did sponsorships with did well. But over the long run, they didn't do well. I haven't done a sponsorship. I mean, I might have done a total of like 5 of them my entire time in crypto. I might have did like 5 of them. And I don't ever feel good when I do it. So I started sending you a screenshot.
But why do it though? Why do it if you don't feel good? Because if you don't feel that good, that's a symptom of that you shouldn't do it.
I don't feel good when things go bad. Like I won't do a sponsorship unless I think that it's good. But I haven't done. I don't do them. You know what I'm saying? The last time I do them with people that I know. Like there are a circle of developers that I know, and they're like, "Hey man, I'll slide you some coins. You just do a video." I do them on my dApp channel. My dApp channel is like the most risky. That's where I do the most risky stuff. And the people that are on there, it's a small group of people who know what's up. Like all of the people in my membership, they know what's up. But I always say, do your own research. This is very risky. You're probably going to lose your money. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I haven't done a sponsorship in a long time. I'm not doing them at this, like, I'm not doing them at the scale of what BitBoy is doing. Like this guy's getting paid that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting like $20,000 for a sponsorship video. I'll never get that much. You know what I'm saying? I never do it on a grand scale like that. For me, it's like a lot of the time people say, I'll be like, nah, man, don't even worry about it. I'll just do a video on it. I don't ever, if I want to do it, I'll just do it without the pay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it on the scale. Like Ivan on Tech, this guy's got a course that's like $10,000. I don't even know how. Ivan on Tech has a course that's like $10,000. If you got $10,000 to give Ivan on Tech, you don't need, you just do your own. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need to know what he's. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna teach you anything. If you're already rich, if you can give Ivan on Tech $10,000.
But here's the thing I'm hearing from and the picture that I'm getting of the crypto community, it's that there's like people at the top that are in the know, which are basically that have, honestly, if you're if you really want to I would say scam people, but also make the most money, developer. Then underneath that, and then like kind of near that is like if you're a YouTuber in crypto. Oh, because you make profits on both, where you're like making money from pumping these things, you're making money from sponsorships, you're making money from having access to these, these seed rounds that maybe nobody else has access to, these initial coin funding rounds, and then all the way at the bottom, way down at the bottom of opportunity, and most of the people who end up holding the bag are the people who are trusting these two.
Yeah,
which are like. That's the sucky thing to me. And then, of course, you can always say, well, didn't you do your own research? It's like, no, you're the YouTuber whose job it is to do the research. And then like people are trusting you.
That's another reason why I don't like looking into these shitty ass projects to see if they're even legit or not. I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do, like, I know it sounds like, but it's been so long since I've done like a sponsored, you know what I'm saying? And I'll say, hey, but this is sponsored, man. So I like the last couple that I did, man, they were so funny because I was like, yo, this is sponsored, man. So come on, man. Like, let's get real. Like, I don't know what the fuck this shit is, man. Like, I keep it so real these days. Like, I'm not sugarcoating, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just hating, but I'm hating on how like the morality, like to do something. The moment that I see something go extremely wrong after a sponsor post, I wouldn't do it anymore. Like, how do you pump a coin? It loses so much value, and all your fans are holding bags, and then the next day you do another one. Like, I don't see how they're doing it, man. I don't see how that people are letting them get away with it. Like, people so hard on me, but everybody
you feel like you're unfairly
treated? Of one rug, which was BitConnect.
One of the biggest rugs.
Man, there are going to be some big rugs, man. When the market, as the liquidity and stuff on Uniswap grows, the rugs are just gonna get. They're already bigger now.
Can I tell you why I think you get a lot of hate?
Why?
I think it's because of. I think your attitude was very much like, it's not my fault. You guys should have just done.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I wish I would have been more humble. I wish I would. That's there's a few things I wish I could have changed. One is I wish I would have told people to do more research and let them know how risky crypto is. But I didn't really know how risky crypto was because I
feel like you were a beginner at that time, advising a bunch of other beginners, basically, because you only had
when things are going well, right? Who hadn't been through when things are bad,
right? Okay, so now you're like, what's your new? So you said you're trying to rebrand. I think in your message to me, maybe, or something to that extent. And that's to sort of get away from that, Trevon. Is that what you're saying? Kind of.
No, I'm not changing my name. That's one thing that people.
Oh, not from the name. I mean, from what do you call it? Stereotype or that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really trying to rebrand. I'm just being more realistic, being that I've been through an entire bear run in crypto. I see how most things don't go well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm definitely telling my followers, most likely you're better off just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Even Ethereum, I would say, it's gonna probably produce more gains, but the goal is probably to stack Bitcoin. People show me these coins every day on my live streams, and it always comes down to, if it's down a lot, maybe get you some, but if it's going up, you miss the boat. Like, it's those type of little lessons that I've learned that I'm trying to teach new people, instead of, it's going great, because it's gonna go great, but it's gonna go bad. So, rebrand. I'm not really rebrand. I'm just growth. I would say it's growth.
Okay, so one question I want to ask you is that, obviously the Bitconnect fallout happens, but the story doesn't end, though, because obviously all these articles come out. But more than that, this is one of the few cryptos that, falls apart, that really the government comes after. So you got contacted by a lot of these feds. What? Tell me the story there. What happened?
Think about it. To look back. So the first time I got contacted, I was in my little apartment. I think it was the FBI. They were knocking on my door, and I didn't answer the door. They were like, Trevon, we just want to talk. We just want to talk to you, blah, blah. We was in there quiet as hell, boy. We was in there so quiet. I'm like, yo, this shit getting real. So then they called me. I kind of like, I don't want to say I ran, but I kind of like, we went and stayed at a hotel for like my son's birthday or something like that for a couple of days. And they called me. I'm not sure if they called Craig Grant first, but somehow he gave me their number, and I talked to them, and I had a long conversation with them. And they were talking about my stolen Bitcoin. The FBI wanted to talk about my stolen Bitcoin. So I got a whole nother stories. I got hacked for 111 Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was maybe about $7,000. I got hacked for 111 Bitcoin. A lot of people think I faked it, but the FBI and them, they know for sure that shit is gone. So I got hacked for 111 Bitcoin. And that's what they talked to me about. And they talked about Bitconnect a little bit. And then after that.
Wait. Hold on. That's $3 million right now.
Don't remind me.
Over
remind me, man. I try so hard not to
sorry,
how much that shit is worth.
Oh.
I tried.
You got hacked for 111 Bitcoin? How?
I was on a live stream. I was on Instagram live stream at the time. And I think what happened is they took my they did a SIM swap where they get my they got my name and stuff, and they get my phone number, and they called my cell company and acted like they were me and got my SIM swap, and then they went into my two-factor and they got into my email, which was really new with me to have my private keys in my email. So don't ever do that. Don't ever keep your private keys, especially if you're a high-profile person. Don't keep your private keys in the email address. I had them saved in drafts. They went in there, took all my crypto out my wallets. Live on live stream. I just was, and at the time I was just like, damn, because Bitconnect was still going, so I was like, I'll make it back in. That's like 90 days worth of Bitconnect. You know, I'll get it back. So yeah, I got hacked for that. Then, so the FBI called me about that, and then the SEC, they reached out to me, and I also got served at the hotel by the state SEC.
Wait, can I just say something real quick for anyone who has two-factor authentication? Hold that thought right there. Nobody who has two-factor authentication who's high profile should be relying on their cell phone number to be their second-factor authentication, because everyone just does SIM swaps now.
I mean, I wouldn't even really recommend.
You need a physical key. You need a physical security key. And if you don't have one, get one. Even honestly, if you're just like a normie with like some money, never use your phone
and
number.
Don't use Ledger. Use Trezor. Ledger always has data breaches, so you're gonna get death threats and stuff from people that have your address, and they're gonna act like they're outside your house.
Oh, that's why. I don't know all the. That's how much I'm not in this world. Like I don't know the crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. So don't ever, if anybody ever, I mean, I'm never mind. I'm just gonna say, if somebody ever threatens your life for crypto, I'm gonna say it's probably a fake, but it might be real. So the SEC, they reached out to me, and we're going back and forth, and then they want me to, settle. And I didn't even get a lawyer. Like, I got a lawyer for my state case, and then when I went to the state to have my testimony, and then I realized how little my lawyer did. I was like, man, I probably didn't even need that guy. That was a waste of money. So then the SEC, the federal SEC, they started reaching out to me after that. They gave me a subpoena to come testify in New York, right beside the World Trade Center. This is like the real thing. I went in there by myself, testified, and then they started asking me. They asked me questions. A lot of people think I snitched on people. I didn't snitch on anybody. I didn't know anything to even snitch on. So I told them the story.
Would you have? Be honest. Be honest. If you were facing, let's say you're like 6'9", you're facing like 20 to life, and you know some people that you could snitch on to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not like a rapper. I'm telling.
Okay. All right. I was just asking, just hypothetical.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling for sure. So I went up there, told them the story, and they started getting into they started playing my videos in front of me, and I went ahead and had to throw that fifth in there. I had to plead the fifth, and then they sent me home. And then they started talking about settling, and they were trying to get me for some securities law from 1940 something, man.
Probably
a law from
securities
1940s. I'm
like, I shouldn't honestly be laughing because it's such a serious topic, but I can't get the 110 Bitcoin out of my head. So then like, I can't.
And I mean, that's like, and then I'm like, I don't have it. They're wanting me to settle for like this huge amount. I'm like, guys, I don't know who the fuck y'all think I am, but I don't have that, man. So I haven't really heard anything back.
How much money did you lose when Bitconnect crashed?
Did I lose? I mean, I had 700,000 in loans. I don't know how much. I mean, I don't even remember, man. I got my coins back, and they were instantly like worthless. And I told SEC, I was like, I bought these things on the way down, man. Like, I was so convinced, man. I'm like, man, this thing is they got something. Because I was talking to Glenn, the guy who was actually above me, and he was like, I'm not sure if he was saying don't sell or just hold them or something like that. But he had me in the palm of his hand. Like, he was like, nah, man, it's gonna be good, man. Don't worry about it. And man, this thing never.
He's probably telling you to
still
buy
have
them.
all my coins.
No. How much do you how if it was worth the max price, how much would that be worth? if in coins? It's like
I have
400
like
bucks.
6,000 Bitconnect coins now.
Okay.
So I say that these Bitconnect coins, the Bitconnect coins that I have, are worth a lot because I own them. So that makes them more special. So I'm gonna hold on
No,
to
it
them.
doesn't.
They're like Beanie Babies.
You just can't sell them right now for
Yeah,
any
I wish there was a way.
27 point
There'll be a way to
something
sell them one
cents.
day. Escrow.
So with all that, like kind of like wider context, I do have to really grill you on something. What's up with the hex? You're
Hex?
pitching hex like it's nobody's business.
Not
You made a
really.
bunch of videos about hex. And
How many videos did you see about Hex?
Like probably 4 or 5, maybe. I don't know.
I did on my main. Well, first off, Hex is up like.
That is a scam, bro. Come on, that's a scam.
No, it's not a scam. I mean, it might be. It might be. But, and I will say that. I will after this is over, I will send you my first video that I did on Hex. And it's probably the one with the most views. And since then, it's went up a shit ton. What I like about Hex is I know who I can point the finger at. We all know who it is. That's the hilarious thing about it. I mean, I treat it like a comedy thing, like Richard Hart. At least with Bitconnect, we didn't know who.
Is that his real name?
Richard Hart? I don't think so. I think his last name is something else.
I don't think people know his last name. So who can you point the finger at?
But Hex.
So this is my one problem because
okay. Let me just ask you since I know, but I want to know why do you think Hex is a scam?
Okay, so this is why I think Hex is a scam. And let me preface this by saying this is the thing that I think this is my real bone to pick with you, because I can understand how you can get into BitConnect and sort of be sort of naive. You push it really hard. You get this huge blowback. You kind of fight back against it. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make the losses right. But if you learn from that and then like really got diligent with not pitching another scam, that's like, I get that. I get the arc. I get the character arc basically. And you can really make the argument like, hey man, that was a big mistake that I made. But I see you pitching Hex, and then that like story becomes harder for me to believe, and it makes me think that,
like I'm not.
Wait. I'm gonna explain.
I haven't did a video on Hex since it's went up. I stopped talking about it because it's up so much. Like only time I talk about it is on my live stream. People ask about it. I never say, hey man, you guys should look into Hex, man. Hex is doing real good. You guys should buy some Hex. I never do that. You're watching old videos that the price is higher, but you still haven't told me
right.
Right.
I'll explain. No. That's what I'm saying. I think that's where the disconnect is I think for like the story that I'm hearing is that like, if it's up, it's not a scam, but that has nothing to do with whether it's up. Hex is going to it will eventually die. And I'll explain
why do you think that though?
So Richard Hart, right, built into Hex is him getting a 45% stake of Hex. Built into it is this origin address, which he says, no, we don't know who has it. Hey.
Well, we know that. He's saying that, but
we know he has it, right?
In these videos, I will say, we know, like, he's saying that he's not the origin address, but we know who.
He's got right into
That's what I mean.
He's got 45%. He's got 45% of the Hex.
Yes.
Then he's got, anytime you have a penalty, so you withdraw your stake early, and this is gonna go over some people's heads. But if you withdraw your stake early, the penalty, what is it, like half of it goes to the origin address too? So then he gets half of that.
Some of it goes to the origin address, yeah.
And then some of it goes to the payout. But then what about all that ETH everybody's staking? Hey, are we just trusting? Are we trusting the kind heart of Richard Hart?
That's what it is. And I will say that
in
the video. Now let me tell you what. Now this is what I think. And I talked about Hex today. Like, I'm not liking what's going on with Hex. I said that today in my live stream. Like, I know it's kind of hard to be cool with this, but you kind of have to keep up with the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might feel one way about something one day and then feel a different way about it the next. Now, the thing with Hex is he hasn't sold one Hex from one of those origin addresses. So I got to give him that. He hasn't sold one coin. Now, another thing, the reason he has all, as far as what I can see, the reason he has all those coins is to have a high market cap. Also, it's easier to pump the price when the way he has it set up on liquidity. So all of that stuff, it kind of like makes the project do what it's been doing, which is go up a shit ton in price. Now, I get what you're saying about,
and that represents
something is
more
up, that
investors.
doesn't mean it's a scam. I get what you're saying there. And also, nothing's a scam until it's a scam, until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So
No. Wait. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying so many things in crypto are scams. So whose job is it to filter out the noise from the signal, the good from the bad? You might say it's the individual crypto investor. They have to figure out with every coin. That's what I think it is. I think it's the influencer's job.
It's the influencers.
So you got to know before you pump a coin, not the ongoing story of whether it's turned into a scam yesterday or today, but is it going to turn into a scam? How likely is it to turn into a scam?
I would say it's not likely
down the road.
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it's not likely that Hex is a scam, man.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy, but because I followed it so much since the beginning, since before he even launched it, I've been following Richard Hart for years. I've been watching him talk and stuff. So I've been following him for a long time. So I would say it's more likely that it's not a scam. And it's gonna keep going up in price because of the way that it's designed, because of the way the liquidity pool and stuff is set up. So when I got into Hex, it was really, really cheap, and it's gone up a lot. Now, I saw how it worked and understood how it worked because I had been doing DeFi before then, and I understood how massively the potential was on it, and it's pumped a shit ton since then. Now, is the scam? I don't know. It probably isn't.
Well, let's no. Let's look at the interests of Richard Hart, because there's very few people there's a lot of people saying it is a scam. Very few people who aren't. One of them is obviously Richard Hart. He's their biggest spokesman. But all you have to think about is, would Richard Hart be shilling this coin if it wasn't his coin? Hell no, because he would look, he's criticized several times when other founders take huge cuts of their own coin. And then what does he do when he starts a coin? So he would have criticized that if it had been somebody else's coin. And what does he do? He gives himself a 45% stake. That's ridiculous. Then think about this. Let's say you got all this ETH staked, right? And a lot of it's coming due. So all of a sudden he's got to send out a ton of money. Right now, he's got the ETH and he's got the Hex, and he can sell that whenever he wants. So he's happy. But what I'm thinking is that, let's say you're Richard Hart, maybe you're looking for a little exit. You could try to keep this coin speculative going forever and then give all these people back their ETH. Or what does he have? Like several $1 million just people gave him in Ethereum. He just decides, hey, no, I'm actually going to take it.
All right. Here's the thing.
What's to stop him from doing that?
He can't, for one, Richard Hart is already rich. Do you agree with that? Do you think he's rich already?
Rich people always want to get way richer.
Yeah, but let me actually answer that question though.
Sure. I don't know, but
already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's only about $1 million in liquidity on Uniswap. So if he was going to just sell all that Hex and exit, he wouldn't walk away with like a couple $1 million. So it wouldn't even be worth the scam. You know what I'm saying?
But what if he walked away with all the Ethereum?
He's been using that to pump the price. He could, but
well, how much money would he walk away with?
From what I hear, if you go watch some of Richard Hart's early videos, and what you'll see is someone who, I know it's gonna sound cheesy, but someone who kind of wants to help the world. He was doing videos that weren't getting any views, talking about how to help yourself, why you should stop playing video games, why you should stop gambling, stop trading. He's been trying to help the world. He's written books about how to live a better life. So I don't know, man. I've always given, from the beginning of when I got into X, I've always given both sides. It might go really bad, but if it does, at least we know it's Richard Hart. And it might be he's trying to create an epic name for himself and make one of the highest appreciating assets of all time. You know what I'm saying? I got into Hex
based on a 1 year track record. I mean, that's nothing.
1 year no, I mean,
during a 1 year track record when he's giving away most of the currency. I mean,
you
yeah.
talking about Hex?
Yeah, Hex is what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'm talking about you talking about the track record of Hex. Yeah, I mean,
well, you were saying like one of the best asset track records of all time.
No, I'm saying that's what he wants to create.
But what I'm saying is the reason his asset has pumped so much is because it's the first year and he's basically giving away most of the currency. After this,
it's all pumped so much because there's not much liquidity and he's using the ETH to pump the price. That's why it's pumped so much and people are buying it and they're staking. Like it's a lot of mechanics that as someone who's not really into how the contracts work, don't understand. The reason it's pumping is because people are locking up the Hex and staking it for 15 years. And he has this shit ton of Hex that he's just not even touching. So it's making the price go up. You know what I'm saying? It's really, he's really giving everybody free. You're right. He's giving everybody free gains because he could just take the liquidity or just take everything, but he's using it to pump. It's obviously him that's pumping the price because he's obviously one of the Genesis whales of Ethereum. So he's the one that's buying.
But when has it ever been a good idea? Wait. But when has it ever been a good idea to invest your money with some relatively unknown guy with zero accountability and zero recourse? What are you going to do if he runs away? You said we know who did it. Okay, so what?
For me,
did it? Are you going to find him? I mean, what are you going to?
I'm not suggesting anybody buy Hex. I haven't suggested anyone buy Hex since before the big payday. That's the last time I was like, man, I'm buying. I wasn't even suggesting. I was talking about what I was doing, buying Hex before the big payday to get that big payout. And since then, I've just kind of laid off of it. Now let's see.
But you're saying
he removed a lot of the liquidity.
You're saying you may have pumped a fraud only a few times. So what's the big deal? And I'm saying that's your job not to pump frauds, though.
No, I mean I'm not. But I don't know if it's a fraud. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it's a scam, man. I think it might be something great. I think people are just hating. From the beginning, people were just hating on it from the beginning. I just think that I don't think it's a scam, though, man.
Well, people were hating on it from the beginning because it was how it was set up to just benefit.
All of them are set up like that, though. All of cryptocurrencies are set up where half of the developers and stuff get. I mean, all of them. Literally all of cryptocurrencies nowadays are set up where the founders get and the developers.
Yeah, because people have figured out that that's an easy, get rich quick scheme, right?
Say what?
It's an easy get rich quick scheme to do that. Is just give yourself a ton of crypto, then hype it up with other people.
So my question is, here's the thing, me too, this gets me in trouble too, is I like to root for underdogs. You know what I'm saying? So Hex is an underdog for sure. Why is it not okay for him to do it? And he doesn't even touch any of the coins. He doesn't stake them. So being that he doesn't stake them, the community gets more rewards. Because if he staked them, the community won't get any rewards. So he doesn't stake them. He doesn't sell them. You know what I'm saying? If anything, he just buys more.
He hasn't so far, and it's been in his interest not to do so.
Say what?
You said he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. I'm saying it's not because he can't or won't. He just hasn't yet because it's in his interest to basically pump this thing as big as it can. And then as soon as he sees, you know what? Hey, I don't want to do this forever. Actually, you know what? Actually, this is kind of dying a little bit. Let me just grab my money while I can and leave everyone else with the bag.
Man, he could, but what I saw in the beginning
full of those stories. So where's
for me and my followers to get paid? And then when it pumped up, I was right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't pump something that dumped on everybody 5 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get paid by Hex. You know what I'm saying? I saw something that everybody thought is a bad idea, which has actually turned out to be a really, really good idea. And then once I seen how high it was, I said, all right, I think that's enough. I think it might be time to shut up about this and maybe walk off with the gains. Because I've learned that if you keep on hyping it, you're going to be hyping it and it's going to fall. You know what I'm saying? So I've laid off of the Hex content long time ago. I only talk about Hex when people ask about it on live stream. And then when they ask about it, I'm like, oh, it's going up.
Yeah, I mean, just me, it's like, I wrote.
I definitely feel what you're saying as far as being the person who protects people and who vents things,
right, because Bitcoin, you get the Bitconnect was a great investment right up until the time it crashed. I mean, that's how scams are, right? It's
Right.
like, so you're saying like, oh yeah, I was making some my money for my followers, but it's like you're subjecting them to tremendous amounts of risk that
if they invest too much, you know what I'm saying? And that's why and that's another thing. Like if you're depending on who you're following, they might not tell you, hey, don't go all in. Don't, you know what I'm saying? They might say, this is the greatest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? In my first video of Hex, I talked about, I'll send it to you. I talked about, it's called 5 Reasons Why You Should Look Into Hex. It didn't say why you should buy Hex. It's 5 reasons why you should look into Hex. You see what I'm saying? It's stuff, it's little things like that that change. It might change someone's action. If I would say 5 reasons why you should buy Hex, that might make someone go buy it. But no, just look into Hex. Maybe instead of listening to everybody calling it a scam, maybe look into it and do your own research. You know what I'm saying? And if they did and they bought some, they came up. You know, so it's tough. I'm with you on as far as like filtering things, but I'm not sure. I'm with you as far as okay, it might lose momentum, and he might scam out. I don't think he's gonna do that. If anything, I think he's gonna just pinch away at the liquidity like he's been doing, and then that might be the exit. But it'll always be there. It's not a platform. The worst that he could really do is, I mean, what is the worst that he could do? The worst that he could really do is just remove all the liquidity. And even if he did that,
he could take all the Ethereum, right?
I mean, he's already got all the Ethereum.
No, but
he already has the Ethereum. The Ethereum on Uniswap is paired with Hex. It's not even that much Ethereum. It's not even nothing to even shout about. It's just a couple million dollars. So the worst that he could really do is take that, and it's like, what would he do that? So
that's a lot.
The fact that it's up so high, it's got a huge community and it's got the liquidity. It's not really too much that he could do to hurt it besides, quitting and saying, all right, guys, I'm done. And it'd be up to the community. So it's gonna always be Hex. It's gonna always be on Ethereum. It's gonna always have that.
No. I think if he does anything wrong, everyone immediately loses faith in Hex, and Hex dives to zero. Because obviously you don't want any kind of contract. You don't want any smart contract. Well, fair enough. But you don't want any smart contract where it's basically based on the trust of somebody who has basically signaled to the whole group that I'm not trustworthy. So if he does anything wrong, everybody who's holding Hex is basically holding a worthless coin.
Yeah, that's true. If he does it, if I would say if he gives up, I don't know though, man, because the whole decentralized thing is such a new concept. We don't know what'll happen if it's something with a community as big as Hex, like, and die hard as those Hex guys are. I don't know, man, especially it's being as decentralized. I'm still gonna lean towards the fact that I don't think he has bad intentions. I think he is trying to make money, but I don't think he's gonna do anything malicious. That's my final say.
Okay, I think that's enough of the that's the big thing I wanted to take you to task on. But then I also wanted to ask you what you think. Look, let's say you're looking at the crypto markets right now. Mm-hmm. You're getting in. I don't need any coin recommendations or anything like that. But what would you tell somebody watching these crypto guys? Because the reason you reached out is because you said this guy, Asker Follman's onto something. All these people are watching crypto and they don't know the full story. And that's what we've heard you talk about, is that, like, you were talking about these other influencers, the stuff. What would you tell somebody watching crypto news, crypto YouTube, watching people put out videos like 3 coins to $3 million, stuff like that, like headlines like that? What'd you say?
I'm trying not to be cliche here, but I mean, do your own research. I would say most of the time, like I've been saying, most of the time, altcoins, cryptocurrencies do not outperform Bitcoin or Ethereum over a long-term scale. The only one that's done that lately is Ethereum. That's outperformed Bitcoin over its entire lifespan. I would say look at their charts versus, it's a lot of layers here. If it's a coin that's been around a lot, look at its chart versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. Buy things that are low. versus Bitcoin and Ethereum. When you buy something, this is what I tell my followers: if you buy something, be prepared to hold it for at least 2 years before it's going to be profitable. Especially if you're buying something that's going up. If you buy something when it's low, you're probably going to be profitable a lot sooner. As far as YouTubers go, I'm not sure if they're saying, "Hey, this is sponsored." They should be, because I think that's illegal to say that it's not.
It is.
Is that illegal?
It is.
Okay, so if they're not saying, then I guess they're just lying, but because they are. So, if a YouTuber talks about a particular coin that you just never heard before, he probably got paid to talk about it. Don't buy it when he first talks about it, because if you buy it when he first talks about it, be prepared to sell it real soon afterwards, or you're going to be holding the bag shortly. Wait till the hype dies down about it. If everybody's talking about a coin, don't buy it when everybody's talking about it. Buy it when everybody shuts up about it. Buy it then. It's little things like that I would that's like my daily advice I like say every day. You want to buy things when nobody cares about it. Expect that most things are going to go down. It's probably going to go down in value. So
yeah, it really does seem like by the time you've heard about it, if like everyone's rushing it, everyone's talking about it, you've already missed the boat.
Yeah,
basically. And you're just going to be one of the fools who's left with the holding the bag at the end.
Yeah.
After everyone's already gotten out, it seems like. That's what it seems like to me. Good. Okay. Cool, man.
So and don't buy Hex. Don't buy Hex.
Hey, you guys heard it here first, man. And get out while you can, baby.
I mean, this is what I'm doing with Hex is I'm not buying any. I'm just selling. I stake my Hex, and then when my stake ends, I sell the interest and I restake it. That's how I'm playing Hex. I'm not buying any. I haven't bought any Hex in months. So
okay. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming on. It always helps to have people come on the show. I appreciate people being willing to talk, being willing to, face some hard questions. I hope you guys in the crypto community joined. I hope my lack of knowledge didn't hurt you guys too much. I'm watching you guys now. Y'all are on my radar. I didn't realize how many shady dealings were happening at crypto. Now, my eye has been turned over to it a lot closer.
Any YouTuber, BitBoy, I don't have anything against you. I know you're probably gonna watch. I don't have anything. I mean, I don't like, like I said, I don't like the whole sponsor thing. I'm kind of sorry. I kind of called him out a little bit. He's just the first one, because he's the one that I had direct experience with getting wrecked. So it's like, you guys cut that shit out, man.